We are only a matter of days away from a resurrection. That's a Prairie Pro Wrestling resurrection. So, indie fans, get yourself geared up for the hottest ticket in Saskatoon. And you've come to the right place to find all about it because, boom, just like that, it's Thursday night and it's time to party with us. We're the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, the man sitting beside me. He's the man with the angelic voice. He's Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Woo, happy Thursday to you, Munson, and a shout out to all the wrestling people out there, especially the PPW Nation. We're all gearing up for the big show, April 4th, Saturday night. And Munson, I've been chopping my onions, chopping my celery, chopping my carrots, because I feel like a little soup tonight, baby.
Yeah. That's our guest right over beside Pop Spokes over there. You've seen him on Prairie Pro Wrestling. You've now seen his matches on the Prairie Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. It's about to get nasty because Soup Nasty is in the house. Soup, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me on the show tonight.
Yeah, happy to have you. We had actually talked about this for a while. We said that, we've want to always promote people on the way up through Prairie Pro Wrestling, especially the ones coming out of our academy. That's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to get the chat involved as well, too. We're going to get them to get their questions in, talk to you throughout the show, talk all things Prairie Pro Wrestling. We got Bass in the house. Yeah. Basser's there. Soup. He's saying. We've also got Prairie Pro Wrestling. Speaking of the devil, there they are. What's up, boys? Who here in the chat will we be seeing on Saturday? Well, let's find out. Bass says he's going to be there Saturday. We know that. He's got Bass and Bass Jr. seats reserved for this Saturday. We know that our man Hulahi is going to be there this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you as well, too. Zach, of course, here in spirit, joining us on a Thursday night. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you. And I think the Mangler is going to be there on Saturday as well, too. Happy Thursday to you, Mangler. And, yes, excited for Saturday. We are, because it's resurrection time, baby. It is going to be a whole lot of fun. And yes, we will also go over to the chat one more time here. And Astrid's in the chat. Hello, Astrid. Thank you for joining us here on Ring Respect Radio. Yes, boys, Saturday, April the 4th. It's the long weekend, Easter weekend. We got Good Friday tomorrow, but it gets even better on Saturday because we're going to light up the Cosmos Senior Center for some Prairie Pro Wrestling. And Soup, we're going to start by getting to know you a little bit better because that's the point here. People have only seen you a few times so far, 3 singles matches, then, of course, over the series of the summer matches, being involved in the Battle Royal. Let's talk a little bit about younger Soup. Before you even got to the PPW Academy, I want to know, when was that early moment for you in life that got you hooked on pro wrestling that said, one day, that's what I want to do?
Oh, man. I watched wrestling as a kid always, when I was late, probably 6 or 7, just early on, maybe grade 1-ish. I remember scrolling through the TVs, just channel surfing, and just seeing a battle royal. I don't know what battle royal it was, but it was just a random battle royal on TV. I remember the first person that caught my eye was Carlito, because he had these bright green shorts, and green was my favorite color coming up, so I started watching wrestling for there.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's a good person to start with. We're fans of Carlito here on the show. So that was your first introduction to pro wrestling, and Carlito, of course, your first person that you saw. Was there anybody that really you gravitated to first? One in particular wrestler that you're like, that's my dude. That's the guy that I ride or die with in this when I watch this stuff.
Oh, obviously, growing up at my age, mid-20s, John Cena, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, all that, tail end of Ruthless Aggression era, all those guys.
Nice. And then my next question, I got to know before we even talk about the training part, the nickname Soup. I know that we knew you a few times as Chris Nasty coming out. Yeah, leaning into the Soup Nasty. Love the shirt, love the chain, love the soup can. Fantastic. Those could be picked up direct from the man himself this Saturday at Prairie Pro Wrestling. Make sure to get yours. I know Bass has got one. Make sure to get one this Saturday. But the nickname Soup, I know it came about sometime during training at some point in time. Is there an origin story? I've always been curious if there is an origin story to the nickname.
Okay, so I knew you guys were gonna ask this one. So Morris Waltz, right? He is in Taekwondo, and I used to take Taekwondo actually at the same school, and like they teach the kids whenever you hit someone, it's a but for the kids that can't do it, you say soup, right? So I started saying soup at like my first show in like February 2023, taking a part of the ring. I would say soup every time I like, because they put me right to work right away. So after I said the soup a couple times, Bertha was like, "That's it."
Nice. Picks up the nickname right away. I love it. I knew there had to be a good origin story. Had to hear it there. Papa Smokes, I know you've got some burning questions there. Heading over to you.
Oh, for sure. It's good to meet you, Soup Nasty, and I know we've chatted a couple times at the shows, but it's nice to get to know you here. I was also wondering, curious about when you were first getting into wrestling, you were watching it on TV, but did you ever venture out around the town, wherever you were living, whether it was Saskatoon or wherever, to watch live shows? Because I know that makes a big difference for wrestlers from watching it on TV to seeing it performed live.
Um, I was I was numb-minded, and like all I ever thought was there was only WWE. The first
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
indie show I ever watched was in 2022
Oh,
for
wow.
CWE here in
yeah.
Saskatoon. So pretty early. So maybe like 5 months after I started training.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
you're
Because that makes a
Yeah. So
difference,
like,
right? I mean, it's one thing to see the finished, polished product on TV, but it's another to be in the same room where the guys are performing and to watch the matches not as a TV show, but as a wrestling card for a live crowd.
now.
yeah,
Now you
no,
said.
if you
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, I
no, I'm just
interrupted
saying
there.
it's a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like, kind of what was so you say about 2022 that was that you saw the CWE, and about 5 months later you were in training with the Prairie Pro Wrestling Academy. What was that like for you? Like, I mean, seeing the what was going on for the indie show is one thing, but stepping into the academy for the very first time, and like again, I know how those first camps are run and stuff like that, and I know how many people run away after the first bumping class that they ever take. It's not an easy task. Anybody who sticks with it, I applaud them. How was that for you, getting through that very first time at the academy? And how were you feeling after? Did you still have that burning desire? Did it take a little bit of convincing to tell yourself, yeah, I want to do this so bad that I got to go back there and I got to keep taking these bumps in order to get my way up?
So I actually went to a PPW training camp at the tail end of 2021, like right when they opened after COVID.
Yeah.
And then like I just wasn't financially there for the school, but I was it was always in the back of my mind. So honestly, I came back after like 15 months, like the tail end of 2022, and I was financially there where I needed to be. And I said, "Wow, this camp really sucked, but like, man, I love wrestling. Like, I don't care how much times I throw up or like get beaten down. Like, I'm gonna keep coming back. Like, I do it for to entertain people. Like I love entertain. I've always been an entertainer, man. I've been the class clown my whole life. I've
Yeah.
always made people laugh, and like wrestling's just a step up. Wrestling's just yourself, right?
Yeah, and again, like, I thought that was the case. I know you had mentioned starting 5 months after, but I thought I had remembered that you were at the class in 2021 there, because I had to come to that class, and I thought I had that was you, and I'm thinking to myself, like, when you said 2022, I'm like, wait a second, something ain't math in here, but now it now makes a lot of sense and everything. But so you come back to Prairie Pro Wrestling at that time, into the academy, you start your full-time training. And working with some of the crew that's back there. I mean, we've seen a couple of graduates already doing some great things and stuff like that. Did that drive you even more to be able to get there as well too, to be able to make that debut, to really put in the work to, you know, start getting to the levels of a Morris or a Riley Cruz?
Oh, big time. They're big on me to be pushed. Like I was the one who had to keep to not just to keep up to them, you know. But obviously, I don't think I was ever gonna keep up. Well, I have now, but like I I was always the one behind. I was always the one getting criticized. I was always the one like, okay, you need to do this. You need to do this to get better because these guys are here and they're here because they put the work in, and you gotta keep up, you know. So it was up to me to keep up and keep going, and yeah.
Nice. We got a question from the audience here, and I want to let the audience know you can get in on the conversation. Make sure that you're getting your questions in throughout the night here for Soup to answer. We're going to go here, and we know who this guy is, James B. Ogre. I believe that is the way it's pronounced. We know who you are. He wants to know what kind of soup is the nastiest, and I think this is a universal one. I think we're going to start with our special guest, the expert of nasty soup over there, and to get his opinion. But I want to know also from you, Pop Smokes, and our audience, what is the nastiest of the soups?
Nastiest of the soups. Um, I'm not really a picky either, right? But like, if I had to pick one, would be cream of mushroom because like I like soup smooth, right? I don't like it lumpy, but like if I had to pick one, cream of mushroom.
Okay, all right. How about you, Pop Smokes?
I kind of agree with soup nasty. I like a lot of soup. I'm not too picky of an eater, but you know what soup I don't like is the one with the apples in it. What's that called? Is that mulligatawny or something like that? I don't
Something
like
along
that
those
shit.
lines. See,
Yeah.
I'm less a fan of, say, like Italian wedding or something like that. It's just one that's not my cup of soup right there. But yeah, I'm wondering about the audience though. Get yours
Meatballs
in.
in it.
I know it does. I like that portion. I mean, like, I don't know, something about that broth just doesn't click for me, Pop Smokes. It's great, but yeah. So speaking of nasty soups, like soup, have you ever thought of like bringing some sort of can of soup down to the ringside or something like that? Really, you know, maybe giving a bath to one of your opponents one of these days, and then just, you know, maybe you've got some soup that's been sitting out for a long time and it's got that icky, gross skin that builds on the top of it or something that you could just slam on the head of one of these guys after your match.
Okay, so a lot of the trainees have brought in that to my attention. That's something I could do. But I also said, do you guys want to be the ones to clean it up after the show?
Yeah.
Because like I'll happily do it, but you know.
Yeah, just don't get any on my damn cameras. That's all I ask. Well, we've seen certain things brought to ringside before. Whatever the mystery cup of something that McSugar used to bring down to ringside there is still up for debate, and we won't repeat necessarily on this show. But we've seen some nasty pieces. But I wanted to know again. We'll go to you next, Papa Spokes. My next question is, with the name Nasty, we seen like you licking the palms for the test of strength against Morris Waltz in the recent match on YouTube. Is there anything else you could think of creatively to lean into the nasty? Like if you remember the Nasty Boys back in the day, used to do the old armpit with the opponent in the opponent face into it. Like, is there anything that's gonna ring true for Soup Nasty moving forward that's really gonna get under your opponent's skin?
Hey, I've been given so many ideas from the school, from watching wrestling, and like, you know, I've been taught by you said McSugar. McSugar's actually told me to never let your whole bag of tricks out in one night. Like save it up. Like always have ideas ready.
Great advice, actually. Very great advice. So, Papa Smokes, I'm gonna let you take the lead for a bit.
Sure, just kind of getting back to the time when you were training and just starting wrestling, getting into the business a bit. how did you start to develop the sort of character that you've got going that was first Chris Nasty and now Soup Nasty? What kind of a what kind of an idea were you getting across with that?
Um, so I always knew I wasn't gonna wear like the traditional wrestling boots and traditional wrestling tights. I kind
Yeah,
of saw myself like more of like I kind of based my look around like the street profits, like Angelo Dawkins. Like you see like a lot of that like basketball. I really loved basketball like growing up, and like
yeah.
I wanted to do like kind of like a basketball like wrestling gimmick, but not completely take it away, but it still works the same. I still get to show like athleticism in there. And yeah, that's honestly the Street Profits have given me uh, some ideas who I was going to be.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. Curious to know, outside of Prairie Pro Wrestling, you've had some matches here with, I know, Ringside. I think that there was at least one or two other companies that you've done some work for already. Tell us about some of those experiences and what it was like working outside of Prairie Pro Wrestling for the very first time.
Very first time was Lloyd RCW. Actually, got to meet a lot of Alberta guys. It's good to network when you're out there. Like it only gets you known and like more bookings, and the more people you know, the more friends. And like I was stressed out going there because I was like, oh, who am I gonna face? And like it turns out the person I faced over there was Riley Cruz. So we had a banger, man. Like me and Cruz can go.
Yeah, and you've known Riley for quite some time. I think you guys have even developed quite a friendship as well too. Would you consider Riley like one of the peers that you look up to in terms of, you know, wanting to achieve the kind of things that he's achieved since making his debut?
Oh yeah. I look to him as like a brother, right? Like he's one of the big stars now in PPW. Like
Yep.
you guys keep on referring to us as like graduates, but like uh Morris and Riley are like on top of the card now. Like
They are.
he's been main eventing cards since like 2024. I remember when he main evented against I think it was Blaze and Crow when he teamed up with Pride. I
Mhm.
remember being like so excited for that, and that was like almost 2 years ago. He main evented the show.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, and again, it's old habits die hard when it comes to commentary. Sometimes it's, you know, you get so used to the flow of saying certain things that you have to kind of get to that point where it's like, yeah, Riley's been around a long time, Morris has been around a long time. They are players in the game now. They aren't just graduates, but at the same time, from our perspective as well, too, also dropping the knowledge that it's like they're there, but they got there through what they earned at the Prairie Pro Wrestling Academy at the same time, because we want people to understand it's like that's the kind of training you get. You can be the next Riley, Morris, or Soup Nasty if you go and put the work in, for sure, with the Academy. Bass saying, as a PPW fan, it's been great to see you at all the shows, lending a hand for years to becoming a fan favorite in the ring and out. We are a hard crowd to win over, and you have my man. Yes, that was a thing. Suddenly, you went out to Soup Nasty last time out, and you know, while you were getting a chant during the Morris match of Nasty Boy from the crowd, I think the crowd seemingly turned to the Soup chant a lot easier, and they were firmly behind you. Then again, I think it also helped that you were pinning the shoulders of the Mexican Devil to the mat as well too. Two big wins in a row. I got to ask you, you paid a little bit of the price afterwards from both Morris and El Asesino, but was it worth it? Was it worth taking those beatings to be able to add to the accolades of your career already? Two massive wins in a row.
Yeah, that's another thing that I knew you were gonna ask. I'd say most definitely. I mean, I'm sitting here on the show, and like people know my name, and people want me back at the shows. Like I'm one of the people that like can sell tickets at the show. Some of the crowd knows me. I get recognized in public, like believe it or not. But yeah, it's most definitely worth it. Like what? So I've been taking beatings after every match I've had in PPW, but I'm still standing here. I'm still getting wins under my belt. So I'd say yes, it's worth it.
Fantastic. And hello to Brett Martinez, who dropped in, stopping by to show some support and dropped a like. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you as always. Yeah, I'm going to go back to you for a second there, Papa Smokes, and then I think we might even turn it over to talking a little bit about what people can expect this Saturday from Prairie Pro Wrestling and also from our guest, Soup Nasty.
Sure. It's you've done very well since coming out. I think I first saw you at Beer Wars during the summer, and then you've had consistent matches on the PPW shows and some other ones, as you talked about. How do you think it's going so far? You're popular with the PPW fans; they've really gotten behind you.
Um, I think I've hit it out of the park. I think I've overachieved expectations. You know, it was kind of like a fear of mine, just like, am I just gonna be on the shows because I graduated here, or like, are the people gonna love me for me? But it seems like everyone loves Soup Nasty, so like that's a big plus. So I'm really glad it's worked out how it's worked out.
And not only the chains, but the shirts going to be available for sale at the show this Saturday as well, too?
No.
No? Oh,
I
okay.
should get on that, but it seems like uh to me every wrestler sells shirts and 8x10s, but like who's selling soup on chains? You know?
That's true, man. It's great. Bass does say, do you have any new merch ideas brewed up? His kid rocks the soup can. Can't wait to bring it this Saturday. So
I do have like keychains and stuff. Like that's other things that I have, but like the keychains and like the soup chains are like the main source right now. But I'm sure I'll come up with other ideas this year. We'll see this summer for sure.
right back to that old detail of don't give away everything in one night. So make sure you always bring, like Bass said, should you bring $300 cash to every pre-PW show? The answer is yes and more. Always bring lots of cash to PPW shows, support to all the wrestlers selling their merch, a lot of great stuff. And also, go and take a picture with them, get signatures with them. And, these are professional wrestlers looking to make a living, and they love talking to you, the PPW Nation. One more time over to you, Papa Smokes, and then we're going to talk some Resurrection.
Okay, I was wondering if you have any good stories from being on the road for other companies yet, or anything that's happened with some wild fans at a show, or anything at all of interest that's happened at some of the backstage at some wrestling shows or whatever.
Oh, backstage and stuff. I've seen some arguments between wrestlers, but I won't name
Yeah,
names.
well,
But
sure.
Don't expect that.
so I've seen my rounds, and like I've only been on the road like literally a couple times, or I've I had a good trip up to Lalash, so it's like 13 hours driving.
Yeah.
So uh, so me being the rookie, I would sit in the back. There was five of us, full car. It was me, Novak, Waltz, Uncle Phil, and I was sat in the middle in the back car. My ass was so numb the first hour, and they said 5 more hours, man. You can do it. And I was like, okay, I'll try my best, but like, yeah. So I opted to drive back, and luckily I got to drive back. I was so happy to drive back.
Get the comfortable seat that way. Wasn't there a story as well too about a dog hopping in the ring where you had that show as well too?
Oh yeah, it's funny. I didn't even know that happened because I was in the locker room, and then I remember. So this was the day before our last PPW show. So this was on the Friday. So it was Novak facing oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. But yeah, a dog got in the ring. It was biting Novak's opponent. Novak had him in the headlock, and he was actually guiding him towards the dog. And the referee thankfully saved them both from the ravenous dog out on the res.
That's priceless. That story is so cool, man. I mean, I like that one a lot. I've visited a lot of the communities and stuff, and it's like the dogs own those communities, man. They're the bosses around there for the most part, and you're on their area. But how about Resurrection, guys? Let's talk about this coming Saturday. We got a lot of great things to talk about. Soup, you'll be in action. I don't know. I know we maybe have had a bit of a match potentially issued. Whether or not that match will get sanctioned by PPW management, we're still not 100% sure. But I know Morris Waltz would love to get his hands back on you. But is there anybody else you're eyeing up this Saturday? Anybody you maybe haven't worked with yet that you would love to step in the ring with, given the opportunity to?
Honestly, I'd love the opportunity to get even with Waltz, Asesino, anyone from the Brotherhood, because like you mentioned earlier, I've been attacked every single match I've had in PPW. So those 5 guys, any of those guys, I love to just show them what I got now after these past months of training.
Well, here we go. It's our friends over at Island Pro Wrestling out of Prince Edward Island joining us in the chat. Hello, Island Pro. Thanks for being here. Hey, just so you know, this is our man Soup Nasty here in the chat. One of our favorites over at Prairie Pro Wrestling. You can catch him, of course, over on our YouTube channel. Of course, yeah, there we go. There's the Soup Nasty can. Love it. But yes, so you want to get the revenge on the guys who have been beating you up, and those are some tall orders. Again, I'm kind of interested though. Is there anybody that you haven't crossed paths with that you've been looking at and going, I think that I could learn a lot wrestling with that dude right there, or not even that dude. Maybe it's one of the lady wrestlers as well too. Is there anybody in particular you think that you could learn some things from working with?
Well, obviously, I want to work on top of the card. I believe I'm there. So, like, you got names like Clark and like Sean Moore. Like, I think those are 2 guys I'd love to have a match with. Like people with national attention. So, I love to have a match with Sean Moore or Clark.
Yeah, I mean, both of them top level guys. Michael Allen, Richard Clark. He's, just on the brink of probably being signed by somebody big at this point. And Sean Moore, how he isn't signed by somebody bigger at this point is always kind of a shock to me as well too. And yes, good day to you, Island Pro, and Island Pro also saying sup to Soup. Thank you for joining us here. Can't wait for your next show so we can review it here on the program as well too. We got a lot to review over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be great. Well, Papa Smokes and I have called some of the matches of Kid Chocolate Mo Jabari, but I know Soup probably familiar with him, but hasn't. Have you worked with Mo at all yet, Soup?
No, I honestly, that's one guy I've never got to see wrestle live because like he was already gone from PPW like years before I even started training here. But like I've seen the name before. I watched his work. I fully know who Mo Jabari is. And that's another name. Like,
yeah, we worked with him while he was here in HIW prior to PPW starting up, and then he was over on the Alberta side doing his thing there. And since then, it seems like just about every company we go to review here in Canada, Papa Smokes, it's quite often that we're reviewing some matches from Kid Chocolate Mo Jabari on those particular cards because he is getting the bookings quite literally everywhere. He is another one who is one step away from probably getting a signing with somebody one of these days as well too.
Very much so. He's right on the verge. Already quite big in Canada. I mean, amongst the top 10, 15 independent wrestlers in Canada, probably. And then branching out into the States, we've seen him work for Billy Corgan's NWA and a few other companies in the States. And another guy just inches from hitting the big time.
Oh, very much so. And yeah, and again, a lot of the roster that we have going into this Saturday, there you could say the same thing about them. They've worked all around the globe at times too. A lot of great experience. Let's talk about the Brotherhood. Again, this might not be directly related to you, Soup, but I know you've observed, you've seen. Let's talk about these guys because they have been making a big mark on Prairie Pro Wrestling as of late. Jacob Creed, he's been teetering around the Prairie Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. He had earned his opportunity through ways of the Gimmick Battle Royal back in October, has still not had that opportunity to fight the champion just yet. He got bested by Riley Cruz at Cold Hearted back in February, which means that Riley Cruz is the next one that is going to step up to Michael Allen, Richard Clark once again, which could be as early as this Saturday, not confirmed yet, so don't quote me on it. But what are your thoughts on the Brotherhood? Again, they're not just in that picture, but they've also gotten the better of the Short Kings recently as well, too. They ended up forcing the Short Kings to get themselves a disqualification, and you got to imagine that Bucky and Dixie are eyeballing those tag team titles. They have got something up their sleeves. What are your thoughts on the Brotherhood and the impact that they have had on the PPW title picture as of late? That one's for you, Soup.
Oh, for me, honestly, those are I just mentioned them earlier, and like, you know, they could go for whatever gold they want, and like however they think they run the company, but they really don't. Like the way they attacked Riley at the last show, like me and a couple other guys had to show the Brotherhood that like us guys are tired of getting jumped, and like that goes for anyone on the roster. I think it was Cannonball that said it after the match that Clark and Riley Cruz had, and like I took that to heart because like us guys have to stand up for each other, and the Brotherhood or Asesino or Waltz can't keep on getting away with this. You know, the crowd's getting sick of it, and if you think the crowd's getting sick of it, how do you think us boys feel in the back?
Great statement right there, Papa Smokes. The impact of the Brotherhood. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, you fight anyone in the Brotherhood, and you basically got 3-on-1 kind of thing. Would you ever think of getting into a tag team in order to battle them? And who would be your choice of partner if you were to form a tag team?
Oh, I think I've had conversations about this before, but like I think me, um, honestly, if Riley needs help with the Brotherhood, I'm only one call away. I'm always backstage. I'm always there to help out, and if he ever needs help, like I'll come out there because I have unfinished business with the Brotherhood as well, and like we can't all do this alone. So me and Cruz.
There we go. Questions coming in back from Island Pro Wrestling. They want to know, Soup, where are you from?
I'm from right here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, born and raised. You know, I moved away for a couple years, but like this is my city. I've grown up here. I was born here, so Saskatoon.
That's why it's what is the introduction that JG gives you? It's the how does the line go? I can't remember.
Nasty from Sasky.
That's it. Nasty from Sasky. That's the line. I like that one. JG, I mean credit to JG, man. He's an ace on that microphone.
Oh yeah.
So, got to know, guys. Of course, we talking about We talked about the Brotherhood. Let's talk about some of the other things that we can expect. We didn't see the PPW Tag Team Champions on the last card. I know that they're on the poster. Fingers crossed that we're going to see them. They're busy guys right now. The Short Kings have been holding PPW Tag Team Gold for well over a year. They won it back in October of 2024. Still hanging on to it. And, of course, the Brotherhood are eyeballing those titles. But is there anybody else do you guys think could be taking a look at the Short Kings and waiting their opportunity, waiting for that shot, or even looking at it going, maybe I'd have a better chance if I allowed the Brotherhood to steamroll the Short Kings and then I go after the Brotherhood. Is there anybody in the back right now that we're thinking that? I'm going to ask you that one first, Pops, folks.
Well, I like Rich King and Dean Richter. I mean, they've looked good as a team. We haven't seen them in the last couple of shows, but I think if they continue on the path they started on in PPW, they could be a force to be reckoned with in the tag team scene. But right now, the Brotherhood seem to have all the momentum, and I think the Short Kings better be watching over their shoulders because they got a hot tag team breathing down their neck.
Now, I see where Bass is going. Jacked and Juicy, very popular team. They've had a lot of shots at the Short Kings. I was almost thinking maybe they're sitting back waiting their opportunity to see who beats the Short Kings and then calling their shot at the tag team titles. It's interesting to say there. What about yourself, Soup? Is there anybody in the back that you think might be eyeballing the opportunity at either the Short Kings or, say, the Brotherhood if they were to take the belts off the Short Kings?
It's very interesting. You mentioned those three teams, but you gotta remember the whole reason they created the tag division was because of Blaze and Crow. Like, I think without those two, the tag team division wouldn't be where it's at today. And I think those two were the staple of the tag team division here in PPW. So, Blaze hasn't been in for a while, but like you can bet once he comes back, Blaze and Crow will want to have a say.
Yeah, you know what? That's a hell of a shout, actually. And you're 100% right. They are the reason that the PPW tag team division kicked off. It wasn't until then that we really even said that we had a division. I think we had maybe had one tag team match that existed prior to that. PPW built on a lot of singles matches, a couple of triple threat matches, but never a tag team division. And now as the Clandestine Society started to grow within PPW, that's when the titles were introduced. That's when we saw the Brotherhood get formed. That's when we saw Paralira, a.k.a. Jacked and Juicy, come along. And we saw those banger matches that those teams had back and forth fighting for the gold. And it was something awesome. Island Pro wants to know, who is the locker room leader, the Undertaker in quotations, if you will. I'd say that, there's really a few guys that I would say kind of lead the show at the back, but at the end of the day, there's no kidding that if everybody has someone that they listen to and go to, it is Crash Crimson. Crash Crimson is running the show in the background, booking things, making the matchups, and if there's something to be dealt with back there, he is talent relations for a reason. That would be my shout anyway. What about you guys? What are your thoughts?
You're exactly right on the money. It's a good locker room. Other than some guys that jump you from behind, we still share the same room. We have to, and it's just all part of being professional. But if you have something to say, bring it up to Crash.
Fair enough. Yeah, Pop Smokes, that's kind of what you've observed as well, too.
Well, sure, but I was thinking more in terms of active wrestlers too, in a more sinister sense. Maybe not so much as a leader, but as a tyrant, as a dictator back there. Undoubtedly, the El Asesino. He is the alpha male amongst the wrestlers in PPW, and I don't spend a ton of time in the locker room, but the times I have, he doesn't put up with any shit back there.
That's a fair assessment of it as well, too. Soup fight Crash Crimson. I don't foresee that happening anytime too soon. I think you and Crash, you have a pretty good relationship, if I'm not mistaken. Soup. He's done a lot of leading the way, getting you out there and stuff like that, and essentially he's the one who's been booking you in these matchups so far.
Yeah, he's the one that has belief in me, and I think I've crushed it on the checklist he's given me. He's given me lists after lists, and I've been checking boxes this whole run so far.
Fantastic. All right, I gotta ask this question, guys, because if it does happen, I can't guarantee it, but if the title is on the line this Saturday, it's Mark, it's Riley, it's part two between these two. We saw Riley really take the fight to Michael Allen, Richard Clark last time out. And I want to know from anyone in the chat who was there live as well too. Do you think that Riley Cruz has been doing I'm not doubting it for a second personally. Riley Cruz is doing the work, but has he been paying extra close attention to the champion, studying the tapes, even going back over the footage from the last time that he fought Michael Allen? And is this going to be a massive advantage this time when he goes against him? Because Michael Allen, Richard Clark, he's a busy man. He's a top guy going all over the place, but he doesn't necessarily have the time to sit down and study all of Riley's tapes. He doesn't know that Riley's bringing out a new arsenal and what he necessarily did to Jacob Creed because he's got all these big bookings all around the world. Is that a little bit of unfocus going to play against the champion this time around, and Riley's laser focus going to give him an advantage? And let's not kid ourselves. Riley is a champion as well too. He's won the championship out in Regina, out at Ringside Wrestling. He has been to the top of the mountain, and beating Jacob Creed was a statement in itself. Do you think this time around is going to be different? I'll ask you first, Papa Smokes.
I think so. I can't say anything bad about Riley Cruz. He's a hardworking guy. He's dedicated to the business. You can see that he trains hard and that he works really hard at this. I don't think there will be any shortcomings on his side of it. What I think might turn the tide or turn the tables a little bit was what we noticed the last time Riley Cruz wrestled Michael Allen, Richard Clark, and that is that the fans sided with Riley Cruz. It was kind of a weird thing for me because Munson and Soup, you guys know that we've watched Michael Allen, Richard Clark around Saskatoon and Saskatchewan wrestle for 10 years or more. He's a huge favorite. He's a crowd favorite. He's a standby. He's on so many shows, and he's caught the imagination of the fans. He always looks like $1,000,000. There's everything to cheer about Michael Allen, Richard Clark. Excuse me. But when he last faced Riley Cruz, the fans went on Riley's side, and I think that's a very, very interesting. And you could kind of see the look on Michael Allen, Richard Clark's face was like, they're not cheering for me. They're cheering for another guy over me. I wonder if that's going to have some effect on that match.
Yeah, and as Island Pro saying, homework is important. Hooli saying Riley's gaining valuable experience. He trains very hard in preparation, always beats talent. Go Riley. Soup, your thoughts, what you've seen are we going to see a different matchup this time around? Is Riley coming with a different game plan? And is there that chance we could end up crowning a new champion?
I wouldn't say a completely different game plan. Like I honestly think like it could have went either way. It was like one of those matches where you honestly didn't know who was gonna win. Like it was one of those matches where the people are really invested. They're really behind Riley, and sometimes that's all you need in the ring. Honestly, I felt it before. I've been down and out in the ring. And like, there's nothing more when that crowd gets behind you. And like, yeah, that it could be a huge difference now that Riley knows that the crowd's on this side. Maybe you could channel it more, and that's what will be the difference this Saturday.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out. It's going to be a great opportunity for the fans anyway. They're always getting their money's worth at a PPW show. Hopefully we get that match this Saturday again, always as card subject to change. We don't know for sure what's going down this Saturday, but what we do know that's going down is the PPW Nation are going to be there in numbers. Like let's not kid ourselves. It's always tough to book around a long weekend, especially when it's a holiday long weekend, and we know that tomorrow being Good Friday could have really affected the show, but I can let you know that the seats are pretty much damn well sold out. The general admission still selling. We still sold some more general admission here tonight. It's going very well. I'm predicting we're going to see a very hot crowd, close to capacity, if not at capacity once again, despite having the long weekend on us. How excited are you guys again to see the PPW Nation? Papa Smokes, I know we talk about it every time. I love the Nation, love seeing them, love being at the door to talk to them. How excited are you for seeing the Nation this Saturday?
Extremely, as always. And we have the best fans, the most devout fans. They line up in the cold and in the rain and everything else to see their favorite thing. live pro wrestling in their backyard, in their hometown, just off Broadway. And, Munson, you and I over the years, and Soup as well, you get to know some of the people in the kind of local wrestling community. You make friends. I'm a big fan of halftime, as I like to call it, the intermission, going outside, talking to the fans, having a puff and just shooting the shit about wrestling and anything else. I love it. I love working the shows. I love socializing at the shows. So this is going to be a great time for me. Soup, I'm wondering if you could say something, and you can, to the fans right now, what would you say to them before this weekend's show?
Oh man, I'm gonna say like this is gonna be like one of the biggest shows of the year. I know we always say that, but like I felt something after February. And I know April's not like one of our stronger shows, but it's the fact like we're selling out an April show, we're selling out summer shows. Like it just shows like it doesn't matter what time of year it is, like PPW's always gonna put on the show. And the fans, they keep coming back. So like that's a testament to what our company brings to the city. Like I always tell everyone, it's the best entertainment in the city for $15. That's if you pre-buy the tickets, of course. You can't watch a movie with $15 in the city.
No, you really can't. So, for those who don't know, as always, it's $30 for reserve seats, $15 for general admission standing room tickets in advance, or it's $20 at the door, gets you a standing room admission. You can also get your drinks there. You can get your hot dogs there. You can get snacks. You can be loud. You can be crazy. You can chant. We encourage it. Everybody wants to be part of that show, that taping. They want to get their voices heard, and they do every single time that we roll out to the Cosmos Senior Center. And now we're talking about this Saturday. That's coming up. If you need to get tickets, you have one last opportunity. By tomorrow, we will probably shut down the ticket sales, and it will be at the door only. So make sure to reach out to Prairie Pro Wrestling on social media. But as we're getting closer to the top of the hour, I did want to briefly touch on Saturday, April the 18th. It's now being advertised by the National Lacrosse League, and the best team in that league, the Saskatchewan Rush. It is Rushlemania, featuring Prairie Pro Wrestling at the SaskTel Center right here in Saskatoon. Before we mention that, the venue cap for our regular shows is 300 capacity. We get 300 in there. That is full capacity for us. Unfortunately, to go bigger, there's always complications with it, because it's either we can't serve a bar tab or like we can't, there's certain restrictions. Maybe it doesn't fit the ring through the door. Everywhere that's available in our general area doesn't meet the things we need to get to for this. And plus, we love sardine canning fans into that arena. It looks so cool, and it feels so much more of a tight-knit community when you got people shoulder to shoulder, pretty much sitting on each other's laps while they're in there, enjoying a hot dog together, biting at both ends and meeting in the middle. It is a fun time at Prairie Pro Wrestling. I appreciate that, Island Pro. I really do. It's thank you. I probably talk too much sometimes, but I appreciate it.
What are you doing at these shows, Munson? Sitting on people's laps, putting hot dogs in your mouth? Jesus.
I thought you had forgotten about it already, Papa Smokes. I didn't know we were going to go down that way. Anyway, back to Rushlemania on Saturday, April the 18th over at the SaskTel Center. The biggest opportunity of Prairie Pro Wrestling so far, as we're going to be at the big arena opening. I think we're doing opening matches, and then we're doing an intermission match as well too. We know that the Rush mascot Rowdy is going to be teaming with Riley Cruz to take on the Bulldogs mascot and Jacob Creed in the big matchup. But Soup, I believe you might be having a match there, and how does that feel, knowing that this won't be the 300 capacity at our regular shows? This is going to be a lot of people. This could be upwards to 5 digits amount of people, like 10,000 people could be watching Soup Nasty on April 18th. What is that feeling like for you?
Oh, it's going to be a big step up, obviously. Like, I think the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of was when we did the Berries, and like that was still under like 1,000 people. So, you're stepping up to like, I'm sure they're going to have a good turnout, at least like 10,000 people at the last regular season game for the Rush. So having 10,000 people behind you, I've never witnessed it. I've never felt it before, but I like to say I'm ready because like it's already loud at the Cosmos Senior Center, so I'm sure it's all the same when you have 10,000 people in that big arena yelling soup.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
One person, 10,000, right? Yeah, it's going to be awesome to get, to be there, and hopefully we can get those chants going. I would love to feel that energy from a good 10,000 strong live in Saskatoon at WrestleMania in conjunction with the Saskatchewan Rush. I believe that there's actually a flash sale on those tickets that went on sale today, so you can actually get into the lower bowl for a discounted price. Go check it out. You can go out there and join the best experience ever being at a Rush game. It is a fun time. I know I've been to some of the games. I know Pop Smokes has. Soup, I'm not sure if you have or not too, but these things are electric. They are full of rowdy sports fans who obviously enjoy their pro wrestling at the same time. I'm excited to be there and be able to film the experience. It's going to be something else. It's PPW's best thing that we've ever done, the best partnership we've ever done. And you can join us by getting your tickets, I think, through Ticketmaster, if I'm not mistaken, to get your tickets to the Rush game. Or if you just happen to be fortunate enough and you were at the last Prairie Pro Wrestling show, I think you got handed a couple of free tickets there. Pop Smokes, I think even you're going to be attending as a fan this time around. You're going to be sitting in the seats there cheering everybody on. Maybe you'll have to be the guy that starts the crowd chants. Get them all going.
I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, the lacrosse fans are their own breed of fans. They're wild in their own way, but maybe they just need a little bit of prompting in order to get into the wrestling mindset and the chanting and the heckling and such. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to sit and watch a show. I'm always working the shows. I enjoy doing the camera work and all that, but sometimes I miss being a fan and sitting in the seat and having a beer and just getting to watch the whole thing. So this is going to be a big treat for me.
There you go. I'm happy for you, Pop Smokes. It's going to be a good time. Can't wait for it. Before we go, though, it's been great to have you on the show, Soup. I want to give you this opportunity in the show to let people know if you have any social media that they can find you on, what you got coming up for matches, whether shows, whether PPW or outside of PPW. What's on the agenda for Soup Nasty?
I have on the agenda is the 2 shows with Prairie Pro Wrestling, and I'm always getting booked out there in the world. So I always post my bookings on my socials, so you can follow me on Instagram at SoupNasty1522 or on Facebook just simply as Soup Nasty.
There you go. That's where you can find Soup. Watch out for him and make sure you join us live in person this Saturday to cheer him on. Papa Smokes cost me some money. That beautiful, expensive ticker's on my screen. Tell the people where they can find you.
All right. As usual, every Thursday night, I can be found on OLE Podcasts and the Video Bros Network, doing Ring Respect Radio, the very podcast you're watching right now. Other than that, I'm on Elon Musk's free speech wonderland known as X. I am at smokes_papa, and also on Twitch, allegedly at least, as papa_smokes_.
You bet. Island Pro, thanks for being here as well, too. Going to go follow Soup on social media, and thanks for giving you a chance to discover new wrestlers. Hey, that's what we love to do.
Yeah.
You do the same for us, providing Island Pro Wrestling free on YouTube. So people, check that out, free on YouTube. And Bass, see you Saturday, you and Bass Jr. with your front row seats. As for myself, Bobby Munns, the ticker's down below. That's where you're going to be able to reach out to me. You want to find me on other shows? Well, what I got, as always, you can find me right here on OLE Podcast, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday morning. And it is Point of View, where we talk about the weekend sports. And of course, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what went down at Prairie Pro Wrestling. So if you want the inside scoop, be here 11 a.m. Eastern Time this Sunday. You can also catch myself and Papa Smokes as part of your commentary team every Saturday for a brand new match over on the YouTube side. Yes, thank you for the shout out there. And yes, we will have a blast on Saturday. And Mangler, thank you as always being here. And we will see you this weekend as well too. But yes, you can catch us every Saturday on YouTube, Prairie Pro Wrestling, where we have a new match from our vaults there. and you are probably most likely, good chance you're watching on OLE podcast. We want you to go follow us not only on all social media, but hey, we're also a YouTube and Twitch partner. On the Twitch side of things, if you give us a sub, that helps us out. You can give us a follow. That's also great. Over on the YouTube side, if you could subscribe to the channel, awesome. Give us a thumbs up, notification bell, fantastic. But we're also a partner, so it means we can make some money. So there is an opportunity for super chats, for super stickers, all those things get to go back into the channel so we can continue to keep doing the things we love. And we got a lot of great stuff from a lot of great content creators here on the channel that want to deliver all the best to every single one of you. Huli, thank you for being here, my friend. Catch you on Saturday. We got East Coast locked down on Saturday. You got the West Coast. So it sounds perfect. I can't wait to see what you guys produce this coming Saturday. Alan Pro, thank you very much. But yes, as always, if you're watching on replay,